Hey guys, today I wanted to talk about the Skypad 3.0 and the Viper V3 Pro. I've been using them both for a few weeks now, and yeah, let's get into it. So to start off, I use the QCK Classic before ever going to the Skypad. So I use like an extremely muddy pad. It's not known for being fast at all, which the Skypad is obviously going to be a fast pad. At first I was using the stock skates on the V3 Pro, and the overall experience with those was really nice. I just bought the UHMWPE skates that Wallhack has on Amazon. They're probably like maybe a bit slower than the V3 Pro skates were, but I think around the same. It's slower, but it's probably basically the same speed. It's just that these skates should last longer from what I have been told and my general knowledge is. I'm not entirely sure, but it'll to be seen. Now, aiming on glass hasn't been harder at all, and I say this as someone who's like only platinum in Voltaic with like some scores diamond. So my mouse control isn't like crazy or anything. I'm basically aiming the exact same as I was on cloth. Like maybe in static I could do like a few extra sessions to get back like a bit of my controllability, but like I don't even think that that's the entire story of it, is that like I lost controllability because I'm on the pad. I think that the pad shows my inputs and my micro adjustments way better than cloth actually does, to where cloth helps you with those. And it's not that I'm aiming different and like I'm doing worse. It's just that my aim is the exact same and it just doesn't have any help from the pad beneath it. So it's a lot more like raw aim than it is just like an added benefit from like friction in the cloth pad. So I don't think that it's like any worse at all. I think my mouse control is the exact same, even being on glass. Because I've seen like a ton of people say, "Oh, my mouse control is worse when I go to," but I really don't think that's the case. Like my mouse control has not been worse at all. Like I'm actually just aiming the exact same, in my opinion. But um, yeah, so the actual like experience of using cloth versus glass is really extremely different. And honestly, I don't think I'd ever like go back to cloth, just because the actual feeling of like moving your mouse on glass is just like 10 times better. Like I don't know. In my opinion, like it feels insanely better. Now onto the Viper V3 Pro. My mouse before it was the Death Adder V3 wired. I tried like a Red Dragon M996 just like in between to check it out. My first ever mouse was the G305, just extremely dated at this point. But the Viper V3 has been pretty good. I will say on the QCK, with the lowest setting, it would dead zone sometimes, which seemed weird to me. But now that I'm on the Skypad, I haven't had any issues on any of the LOD settings, and it's been completely perfect. So that is one thing to keep in mind, is that I think for some pads you may have an issue with the sensor. But now that I'm on glass, I don't really have that issue. It hasn't been a big deal for me, and it would only happen sometimes on the lowest setting. So if I just put it some like medium or something, I'd really get away with it. Now onto like the battery life and stuff like that. Wireless 8K, I can game for like 6 hours at a time on 8K for like 3 days straight. Like it's a pretty good battery. Uh, this is just something that should be like expected for a mouse at this price point. At this point, though, so there's not really points for that. It's just it's there. Um, but the main thing and the main reason why I like this mouse is the actual shape of it. The shape of it is just really nice. The Death Adder V3 wired was just way too big for me, which was like a large problem overall for me. And the Red Dragon M996 was just too small for me. And this is like a nice in between shape where I can actually claw grip it, and it's big enough that I don't feel like my hand is like squeezing in there, like trying to really get around it. It just feels natural for me to like put my hand on it. And I will say, a big problem that I had with the Viper V3 Pro is I got a black one, and the black one within like 8 days, the side was creaking, like horribly creaking. and the LOD issues were on not only on low, but it was on medium and would happen literally all the time. Unless I was on the highest LOD setting, it would always mess up. And that was just really frustrating to get a mouse for $160 and have that be an issue. So QC can definitely be like a problem for this, and I'm pretty sure Razer's really known for having like QC issues. So that is just something to like look out for and know that like yeah, potentially I'll have to RMA this and just get a new one. But overall, I'd say for the Skypad 3.0, it was just like a 10 out of 10. It just completely destroyed my expectations, was above and beyond what I thought a mouse pad just like could be in general, especially coming from cloth or just like a slower cloth pad in general. It was just like wow, I was like holy, like that was amazing for me. And then for the Viper V3 Pro, I'd say like a 7 out of 10, and that's just mostly because of the QC issues that I encountered. But like the actual shape, battery life, performance, mouse top tier, all of that, it's exactly what you'd expect. It's just that you can run into QC issues, and that's really a big downer. That's my overall thought on the Skypad 3.0 and the Viper V3. Thanks for listening.